My girlfriend, 21 female, is horrible in bed, 23 male. My girlfriend and I have been dating for 10 months, and when it comes to the relationship, my girlfriend is amazing. It is clear she loves me very much, treats me very well, takes me out, etc. But one thing I cannot seem to shake is how bad she is in bed, and it is affecting my sex life. For starters, it is extremely one-sided. She almost never goes down on me, and in the rare occasion it happens, she does it for like 2 minutes before stopping, and it is admittedly the worst head I have ever received, and sometimes I don't even get that. She is a pillow princess, hardly takes the initiative and just lays there 90% of the time. Missionary is painful for her, but doggy feels great. It always starts with me going down on her for like 10 minutes, and then she turns around and gets off to me and her vibrator. I feel like I have to constantly get myself off too, because she just never bothers to give me the attention I need, let alone even touch me. I feel like I have to go through X, Y, and Z before sex becomes even remotely enjoyable for me. I have brought up multiple times in the past on how I feel neglected in bed, and things have never changed. I feel so neglected and I almost never get off. Things have not changed despite my numerous attempts at expressing my desire. I think the biggest thing that nobody is talking about is that she didn't change. You can be bad in bed, but communication is supposed to make it better for both. She's actively choosing not to please you after you've communicated what you need to feel wanted. To me, that is a deal breaker. I've broken up with dudes over this. It's the most intimate thing you can do, and she's showing you that she doesn't care about your needs. I'd have one more conversation with her, implying that this is deeply affecting your feelings about the relationship. Be completely honest. If nothing changes, you need to follow through, unless you're content putting up with it. You know that you don't have to continue dating this person. Plenty of other options out there. You need to accept that this may never change, and then decide if the positives in other aspects of your relationship make up for your sexual dissatisfaction. No relationship is going to be 100% in every category. You need to decide if the problems in this facet of your life together are important enough to you to give up on all of the positives you see in other facets. There isn't a right answer. Only a right answer for you. Some girls are like this, I'm afraid. In my experience, it doesn't get better talking about it. That connection is bed has to be there from the start. But hey, maybe it will work for you, talking to her, explaining what you are explaining here. What's there to lose? I've been with girls who were great in the bedroom, but not so much outside of it. And girls great outside the bedroom and mediocre at best in the bedroom. As I get older, I actually am appreciating good sex more and more, since you'll spend less time doing it. This might not be the right relationship for you. We can go round in circles for ages about the whole pillow princess thing and whether it will serve her well in your bed or indeed in any others, but there is one blunt fact about the situation. She's not required to change. If this is how she chooses to conduct sex, she's allowed to conduct sex this way. She is not wrong. Conversely, of course, you're not wrong for wanting someone more active and engaged. And if she's not wrong but you're not wrong either, the only thing the two of you can be is wrong for each other. Equals. So now you know that you two are incompatible in bed. If your girlfriend was willing to change and improve, she would take steps to do so. Since she has not, ask yourself if this is the relationship for you. Mike, 26M, girlfriend, 26F, is going on a yacht without me. Do I break up with her? I, 26M, and my girlfriend, 26F, started dating about a year back. We worked together at a firm that I left to be with her, as we had a policy against dating coworkers. She makes me happy. She is smart, funny, caring, and motivated. A thorn in our relationship has been this guy she was with, though not in a relationship, let's call him Bob. She tells me it has been about 2 years since they have been together. This guy has more money than me and invited my girl, as well as inviting me, by name, to a huge Airbnb with a bunch of other of his friends. But he also invited my girl to a yacht party the following day with a bunch of other attorneys, though not me. I am not close to him, met him once. They maintain a friendship and she does contract translation work for Spanish-speaking clients for his firm that he co-owns with another attorney, let's call him James. The rental is for 10 a.m. 5 p.m. technically, but my girl told me it might go over. My girl has reassured me when I ask her, she would never cheat on me, as she has integrity and wants to say she has never done anything like that. Fine, I trust her. But I am reaching a point of ending things because I find this disrespectful. Even if you are not, and I believe her, you are putting yourself in a place where that might just happen, especially with how boat parties are. Another thing that got me heated. She texted this guy, Bob, she would be shaking ass. She shared the messages with me, with Bob saying no she would not, as she is with me, and who would she shake ass to? She replied to the wind. I think this is disrespectful to me. What message are you trying to give off when you text some other guy this, especially one that you have been with in the past? She has been cheated before in the past, and so have I. She always tells me she belongs to me, and wants us to marry and have kids. She gave me the keys to her house and she is very caring and passionate about me. Sometimes I wonder if my thoughts are misplaced because of my past trauma, or if there is something suspicious going on here. If you want any more context, let me know. I am not asking a question, I just want advice on how to handle this and if I should break things off. Thank you. It sounded more like a business networking event until the text about her shaking ass. Why would she text those things to him? That's a major red flag amongst other things. Texting the shaking ass was wholly inappropriate and disrespectful. She texts that to an ex, then tells you to just trust her. Furthermore, why aren't you going? It's disrespectful to invite half of a couple in this situation. Whatever the guy's intentions are, to fuck her alone or as a party on the boat, the disrespect is coming from her. And the way she's selling the whole thing to you, it's called gaslighting. What the hell does texting shaking ass mean? Going to a boat party with colleagues isn't that bad, but once she said I will be shaking my ass, now that's crossing the line. Girlfriend, F26, is becoming famous. How do I, M27, deal with feelings of inadequacy? Hey y'all, it's probably hard for a lot of people to relate, but I'm hoping I can get some advice. Me and my girlfriend have been together for about 3 years. We're both actors, however she recently booked a life-changing gig. She is on the rise and becoming extremely famous. I'm obviously keeping her identity a secret. I'm incredibly happy for her and it has been the experience of a lifetime, something I was never sure I'd be this close to. However, I do have some concerns. I'm starting to feel a lot more insecure. I've always been so sure of this, but I've had a lot more of these thoughts of not being good enough and that she's secretly falling out of love with me. It's difficult because I know she can have any guy she wants, and I'm feeling quite inadequate. There has been no noticeable change in our relationship, besides not seeing each other as often because of press and things like that. There's really nothing to be worried about, but I can't get these thoughts out of my head. I brought them up to her and she assures me this isn't the case. However, it's difficult seeing her be successful and I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, not booking gigs. It's not because I'm not happy for her, it's that I want to be successful for her. I don't want to bring her down, but just feel like I deserve her. Again, these thoughts have never come up in the 3 years we've been together. If anyone could offer some insight or clarity, especially when my brain is throwing intrusive thoughts that she could cheat on me despite knowing she would never and is definitely not. But I wonder how much she entertains the thought of being with someone else. I'm not the most attractive guy, especially considering the people she's around, but I've never cared about any of that. Anyways, I'd appreciate any perspective, thank you. Too long did not read. My girlfriend is becoming famous and I'm becoming insecure I'll lose her, despite her actions saying she is still very much in love with me. Your last 2 sentences are the biggest issues. You spend the whole time talking about how insecure you are and state twice that she's told you there's nothing to worry about. And yet you end with making a point about focusing on how often she's thinking about leaving you. You're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where the constant need for reassurance will eventually push her away. And then you'll say, see, told you. Stop focusing on the bad and focus on the good. Remember that she is with you and enjoys spending time with you. Focus on the good qualities you bring to the relationship, not the ones that you think she's trying to fill with others. Karen Gillian posted a picture of her in costume makeup and her husband doing couples counseling over Zoom. Obviously we don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but there's no scandal around them. They seem happy on his channel. They're doing the work to make room for open communication during a time when they might have felt apart. Feelings of inadequacy and low self-worth are going to pop up in this kind of situation. These aren't things you can't just fix with advice. Some type of self-improvement strategy is going to be required by you. There are books in these topics with strategies to overcome low self-worth and therapy if it is available to you. That's really the only answer, it's going to require you improving yourself for yourself. Sounds like you could probably use some therapy to work through your feelings of inadequacy. You can't stop the future and maybe you two aren't meant to be together long term. Or maybe your feelings of inadequacy are causing you to self-sabotage. I'm sure as things are rapidly changing for her in her life, she would appreciate you being a stabilizing force in her life. If things were opposite and you were getting her success, what would you have wanted from her? Unconditional love and support? A personal cheering squad? Not being saddled with guilt for your success? Also, try to find ways to work on yourself so that you can show up for both of you. Forcing her to constantly reassure you whenever you have time together can get exhausting for anyone. Don't forget to get some exercise. One of my best friends blew up, and her partner responded very badly. He got really competitive with her over it, but he didn't talk to her about it. He got distant and weird and she eventually had to break up with him. But if he hadn't decided to get competitive with her, she never would have broken up with him. She tried to make it work. She needs your support, Op. Blowing up is incredibly hard. Decades ago in NY, a very close friend of mine booked a pilot that lasted 3 episodes. She was never the most skilled or most talented, but she got the job. 6 months later she was back in class with the rest of us. The $27K they paid her for the role was gone within 6 months. No one's success means they're going to take you along for the ride. Don't be a Klingon. Your insecurity will always exist. She's not responsible for your happiness. Kicking out my partner, 22F, after she told me, 24M, to stop seeing my daughter? Warning: long post ahead. Update posted on my profile as well. Repost as my old post isn't letting me see or respond to comments. My partner, 22F, and I, 24M, have been together for just under a year now. A few days ago, she asked if we could talk, and I immediately feared she wanted to break up. However, after our conversation, it was not what I expected at all. A bit of background for this is I have 2 daughters, aged 4 and 2. I became a single dad when I was 20, just a few months after my first daughter was born. Her mother left us, and I've been raising her on my own ever since. About a year or so later, I met my now ex-partner. She was very pregnant and, like me, was facing the reality of being a single mom soon. Her baby daddy had left her and their daughter, leaving her with no support. We were together for almost 2 years and were a blended family, and during that time, I raised our youngest daughter as my own, loving and caring for her as such. Both of my daughters are daddy's girls, and I cherish our relationship. I've never once second-guessed my role as her father. Unfortunately, my ex-partner struggled with mental health issues, including BPD and bipolar disorder, which eventually led to infidelity on her part. Despite our attempts at couples counseling, I realized I couldn't continue the relationship. We split amicably, but I made a promise to my youngest daughter that I would always be there for her, and I fully intend to keep that promise. She spends weekends with me and occasionally stays a few days during the week, and this has been a constant for over a year. Now, fast forward to the present. I met my current partner shortly after my breakup, around a month later. Honestly, it was supposed to be a casual fling, but we hit it off so well that we ended up spending the whole night talking, playing games, and getting to know each other. We didn't go beyond kissing, but it felt great. From the start, I was open about my situation, being a single father to 2 girls, and the unique relationship with my youngest daughter. At the time, she seemed fine with it and didn't bring it up again. During our recent talk, she expressed that she's uncomfortable with the fact that I'm still involved in my daughter's life and my ex's life. She said that it's emotionally ignorant and unfair to her that I continue this relationship, and in her words, "You can't possibly love her as much as your actual daughter, she's not even yours." This really hit me hard, and I admit I didn't handle it well, and it turned into shouts on both ends. I told her to leave my house. Crappy part was both my kids were in their rooms and heard the whole thing. I really hope they heard hardly anything or nothing at all. It was probably the first time they ever seen me like that. She said she went to stay with her sister, and now everyone is messaging me from her friends and family backing my partner's opinion that she isn't even mine, and questioning why I care so much about her. Thankfully my family is on my side and are doing their best to support me emotionally, but it's hard as they live in another state. My mother and stepdad are planning on flying in this coming weekend to help out, which is the best news I've heard all day. Honestly, I'm really confused right now. Am I being unreasonable or unfair? I'm struggling to process my emotions and don't know what to do next. Note: I should also add that my ex and I remain decent friends, and she is a great mother to our youngest daughter. However, my oldest daughter's mother is currently Mia. My youngest daughter's mother is a great mom but works as a flight attendant, so that is only the reason my daughter stays with me a couple days a week on some occasions, so she can pick up extra hours when she needs. This only occurs 3-4 times a month, if that. Mentally she is much better, and we just didn't work out, but continues to make sure that our daughter will always have me as her daddy. Also, my girlfriend now doesn't live with me. She does, however, stay a few nights out of the week, and we do go out when I find the time. I haven't heard from her since the incident, which maybe is the best. Sounds like your girlfriend is too young to be able to handle the situation maturely. If your daughter thinks she's yours, then she's yours. You can't abandon her. Please don't abandon her. So by your GF's logic, if you had an adopted daughter, you couldn't possibly love her the same as your biological daughter? As an auntie to an adopted niece with biological siblings, we all love her as if she was a biological family member, and I am sure you feel the same. You raised this girl from a newborn, and she's yours as far as you and your daughter are concerned. If your girlfriend is too immature to understand that, you need to find someone else. No, you are not being unreasonable. Being a father is more than just biology, and if your girlfriend can't understand that, do not make this monster part of your future. If you rearrange your life for her, I guarantee you that, if you ever had kids with her, your bio daughter would be the next problem. She knew you had 2 kids when you got together, and that is non-negotiable. If she can't hack that, dump her, not your youngest. If she said you can't love your youngest because she's not yours, then you know how she really feels about your oldest. And the problems that will come if she and you ever have a child. It doesn't matter how your youngest came to be your daughter. She's your daughter. That's just a fact. Your girlfriend, her friends, and her family have proven to be the types of people who value blood relations above all else. So let's say you stay with her. How else will her friends and family meddle in the future? How will they treat your daughters moving forward? How will they treat them when you eventually have kids with her? What will they say or do when you aren't around? It doesn't look good, brother. She doesn't fit the family and life you have. That's fine. It isn't the end of the world. There are so many people out there with values that match yours, and the right woman will treat your daughters as if they were her own.